Hello and welcome to another episode. We have the MG4 X-Power. Now we have previously reviewed just the standard MG4 courtesy of our very good friend John, and we really liked it. It's a really good car. So we were quite excited about getting hold of the X-Power, especially with the speed that comes with it.
Please remember to check out our other videos and to click on the subscribe button and tap on the bell icon so you get notifications each time we upload another video.
The price point of this new is around about 36,000. You can pick one up for around about 33 second hand with just a few thousand miles on it. Which, I mean, for the amount of power you get is pretty insane, really. If you're looking for something that's really fast and you don't want to pay Tesla prices, then this is a good option. The one thing I will say, though, is that although it has that insane amount of power, and yes, it is quick, it doesn't have the traction and the grip that it needs to go with that amount of power.
So 0 to 60, foot flat to the floor on the throttle, and go. Squirming.
Everybody knows that I like a good seat, and I love a heated seat. And this has heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Particularly this last week, it's been absolutely freezing where we live, and having that has been amazing. And it heats up so fast. You put it on, and within seconds you've got a toasty bottom and toasty fingers. So that's lovely. The other positive is it does look nice. I've had a couple of people comment on it and say it's a bit boy racery, and yes it is. It's got its orange calipers, and it looks like a fast car, and I think it's definitely going to appeal to a younger market. Now I don't know if you can hear that beeping noise, but this is my least favourite thing that you get on any car nowadays, and that is the lane assist. I know it's there for a reason, and I know all manufacturers are told they have to have it, but it's really irritating, and I would always want to turn it off. And particularly in the MG X-Power, when it beeps at me, it also moves the steering wheel, and I've had this on other cars, but on this it's particularly bad. It really does pull you, and it's really disconcerting. And there's been a couple of times where it's made me have a little panic. I mean, and I think I'm not bad at keeping in the lines. I'm not doing a bad job here, but it's still kind of trying to correct me constantly. It's quite irritating. It's just done it then. Right, let's get off the main roads and then it can stop beeping at me. Now you can turn the lane keep assist off. The problem with turning it off is you have to go through multiple layers to get to the place you need to get to actually turn it off, which is frustrating. Whereas on other cars, such as a Kia, there's just a button in the car which you can press and you can turn it off. Now that would absolutely be my preference, because perhaps they've done it to deter you from turning it off because it's a safety feature, and I do get that, but I also think it's a choice, and it should be easy to turn off. It's very frustrating.
Morning, folks. Today is the day that we take the MG4 back to MG in Burnley. So I was going to do a quick range test. I've charged it to 100%. It's showing 189 miles, and that's based on an efficiency of 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour over 329 miles, which is poor in my opinion. It's going to take 2 hours and 14 minutes, motorway speeds. I'm going to reset everything. Let's see how it does. Okay, folks, I wrote a lot of stuff down here because I wanted to just recap on everything and just what what I really like about it and what I really dislike about it, and this is very similar for me and Kate, we're pretty much of exactly the same opinion for most things. The drive when you're driving locally around town is amazing. It really is. The power delivery, just when you just want to nip out of a roundabout or somewhere without really trying, it's lovely. It's a really nice feel, and the steering control and where you want it to go is all just nicely set up. I feel like the MG4 as a whole package in any model is very good, simply because the battery is very thin, the car sits lower, they've got a lower center of gravity. So from that perspective, it's very good. The tyres are chod, no doubt about it. They've put Bridgestones on this as well, which I had on my MG5 as original. Great longevity, but they're hard, they're noisy, and they've got really poor grip. So when you do want to go around a corner, and not even particularly quickly, you can feel the car starting to squirm a little bit. So the tyres are bloody awful. The look from the front is lovely. I don't like the back. I think the back is awful. But would that stop me having one? No. But I wouldn't have this one. I'd have either a standard range, a long range, or extended range. I think that just is a whole better package, and for a couple of reasons. This has a vibration on it, which is horrific. It's not the tyres. It's apparently the drive shafts. It's definitely powertrain related. I feel like it's coming from the back beam. So somewhere between the rear motor and the shafts, there's something there. And it seems to come in and out with the power delivery, I've noticed. The brake calipers are just, the covers, it just makes the car look cheap. They're awful. I would take them straight off. I think that's a really bad move by the Chinese. I don't know what they were thinking. And orange. I mean, who okayed that? The stereo is not very good. I mean, it needs to be better. They need some level of bass in here, and it just isn't up to scratch. Admittedly, in our Tesla Model Y, the stereo is very, very good, which probably makes the gap widen. But for me, that stereo needs updating. For a car that's, giving you 430 brake horsepower, Alcantara seats, looking flash from the front, you don't want people to get in and go, Jesus, what's that skeleton in a biscuit tin? And the efficiency is just, I think there is no torque vectoring going on here at all. Now, torque vectoring is really good for efficiency. Tesla, I think, were probably one of the first to play around with this, where with the dual motors, the front motor is smaller, the rear motor is bigger. When you want all the grunt, most of the power comes from the back. And then when you want to just tickle along at 70, it's running on the front motor, because the smaller motor spinning at higher RPM is more efficient. I don't think they're doing this here, and I think they really need to be doing it for lots of reasons, mainly efficiency. 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour is bloody horrendous. It really is. I can get better than that from a massive van, a massive electric van. So it just isn't good enough at all. So with that, I 100% wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have this model, but I would have standard range, long range, extended range, because that would mitigate nearly everything on here, apart from the stereo and the back end, which I can live with. So, right, folks, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed this. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon in another episode. So bye for now.
Now don't be fooled, folks. The X-Power, for the money, is probably some of the best performance you can buy new, whether you're looking for an ICE or an EV. In fact, over the quarter-mile sprint, the X-Power sits in the supercar territory at 12.06 seconds. There are plenty of £100,000 cars that will sit behind this and not offer the same interior comfort or functionality. Now, we have previously driven the SR MG4 for a week, which we loved, and you can watch that review by clicking the link at the top of your screen. The X-Power did a great week in awful conditions, and in normal driving was great. but as a package we feel it's just not compelling enough to purchase over MG's other offerings, the standard range, long range and extended range MG4s. It falls short on traction, mainly due to the tyres. The stereo just isn't up to scratch for the specification the X-Power is trying to achieve, and ultimately we can see these coming down in price, so if you do want one, bide your time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon in another episode.